4 o'clock. I'm Andy Jade. Thank you for tuning in to Classical 90.5. We're 105 degrees heading on to Hayward campus. It's 93 in Sierra Vista. 76 is the close of rain in Bisbee. 105 in Southern. The National Weather Service forecast does have a 30% chance of thunderstorm activity for this afternoon and this evening. Below tonight.
Okay, I think I've posted everywhere that I need to, which means I can start the stream. Just as always, my name is Benjamin. I'm a paleontologist, and I'm working underneath the microscope today to clean out this little guy right here that you can see on your screen. This is a small piece of armor from a very large animal called Deinosuchus. I could throw out a number of feet long that people think it is, but there are a lot of supposed numbers for how long this animal might have been, and I don't think all of them are particularly well researched. So this is a very, very large crocodilian, larger than any modern alligator that we know of, and this small piece of armor was collected in the Menifee Formation of New Mexico. It's approximately 80 million years old. Could technically be anywhere from 78.5 to 84. It's most likely around the 80 million year old span. And I'm getting a little distracted because my cat is rubbing up on my computer right next to the microphone. She never meows into the mic, so you can't tell that she's here, but she's here. And there's a cat in here because I'm not in a laboratory or anything. I'm in my living room. That's where we do Microstream. So the audio quality is always terrible. You're going to hear my AC running because it's extremely hot out. You're going to hear the squeaking of my chair and the drinking of my water, but whatever. I'm trying to give a little bit of a show into what it's actually like doing work in paleontology under the microscope, micropaleontology as it were. And this is an osteoderm that I'm working on describing, putting into the scientific literature. And before I do that, I want to be able to figure it, be able to take photos of it in a fully prepared, cleansed state. So I'm working on this paper, and I was taking another look at this, and I'm like, I bet I can clean those pores out a little bit more. So I've already done a little bit of that work, but more of the detailed prep I want to do under the microscope so I can actually see what I'm doing. So that's what I'm going to do. If you're watching this live, you can, of course, hop into the comments and say hello, ask me a question, or just say anything. I don't really care. Just don't make it racist like that one guy did that one time. Or I'm going to make fun of you and then ban you from ever being on my stream. So, you know. You want to be really delicate, of course, because this is a not especially common find. Fossils of Deinosuchus can be found in a number of different deposits actually across North America, but those from the Menifee Formation are not particularly common. It took us quite a few years of working in the Menifee to find any definitive Deinosuchus material, and that became the basis of a paper that I published in 2021, and this is kind of the follow-up, which I've been working on for a few years and should hopefully be submitted soon. This is part of me getting that manuscript done, which, just like the preparation of a fossil, is done little bits at a time, slowly scraping by. Because even though it might not look like much, every little scrape does actually do something. You know, every day you add a couple of edits is actually moving you closer to publication. At least that's what I tell myself. And I also took a bunch of 3D scans today. I built and operate a virtual museum called Shadowbox. So when this fossil is done being prepared, I'm going to scan it a second time. I've actually scanned this guy already, but now that it's been prepped out, it looks a little bit nicer, it's a little cleaner, and this will be on display in the future once that paper is published on crocodilians in the Menifee. So you'll be able to not get quite this close up, Although if you want to, you can. But you'll be able to see a 3D model of this fossil and look at it in all angles, and hopefully see the features that I'm describing to attribute it to one kind or another. But these pits on an osteoderm this small are extremely deep, and the osteoderm itself is really, really thick, and those are some pretty key indicators that this belongs to Deinosuchus. It could be a young one, given that we're talking about this object is about the size of a quarter. So this could be from a young one. I think it's equally likely or even more likely that this is just from around the neck or around the tail, where the osteoderms are not quite as large. Either is possible. And until there's more fossil evidence, more complete fossils excavated, we're not going to know. August. It's way too early in the day for you to be whining about getting your dinner time slop. So I don't know what you're on about. What is it? My cat has these big yellow eyes, and she loves staring at me. She makes a surprising amount of eye contact for a cat. as always, I think me meowing back at my cat probably does get caught by the mic, but the cat herself meowing does not. So I probably sound like a crazy person, which is not wholly inaccurate. Like, you know, cats are like toddlers. You have to encourage them. If they're making noises, they're trying to communicate. You gotta acknowledge that. I let her know that I can hear her, and I'm just ignoring her request. Okay, so far the scans are turning out well. What? You act like I never feed you. In fact, I have hand-fed you nearly every day since you were like 6 weeks old. Hi. The cat is bothering me.
You.
Not too bad. I can tell you about it later. Thank you.
Wonder if the viewers at home would hear that. Maybe if I did it real loud.
Maybe. The viewers at home being you.
Well, I'm not watching it right now.
Not now, but sometimes later. harpsichord. Okay. The underside's looking pretty clean. Not a whole lot that needs to be done here. Just a quick run over with a damp toothbrush. Should take care of most of this. Okay. Alright, I think that's pretty clean. It's about as clean as this guy's gonna get. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it there, and I'll be back next week.